and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Chad McCanna.
And I'm Hyle Russell. It's E3!
Well,
almost.
Not quite yet. Yeah. Let's keep expectations measured because they're about to get wildly off the rails for the next 60 to 90 minutes. Or let's be honest, 2 hours.
I don't know. Are they? I feel like this is the first E3 that I can remember where we pretty much know what we're going to get. The excitement is, how much of it are we going to get?
Yeah, no, I guess you're exactly right because, I mean, before so formatting note for this show, like a few of the ones that we've done recently, it's largely going to be driven by your listener calls. We figured this would be a great opportunity to find out what you guys are looking forward to at E3. But yeah, as you know, I think we phrased it asking people what their wildest hopes and dreams are, but you're right. We sort of know at least the bullet points of what we're going to see.
And I think that's why we also decided to do the format of the E3 preview episode a little bit differently this year, rather than bring on staff members and just speculate wildly or try to read the tea leaves, as we always called it. There's really nothing to be read. I mean, yes, we could be surprised. Nintendo could be playing coy with us about what they're showing at the event, but really it's pretty much the tale of two games at this point, and that's Sea of Thieves and Yooka-Laylee.
I feel like coy is that's a level of humor that might be beyond Nintendo's promotional wing. They generally gravitate towards dad jokes in these sort of scenarios.
Well, I would say something, but as everyone knows, I have a confirmed anti-Nintendo bias. Right. So
which means you're no longer allowed to criticize Nintendo at any point.
No, I've given my critiques about Nintendo's E3 plans, or at least released E3 plans, and before anybody jumps down my throat, yes, they're going to be showing Pokemon in addition to Zelda. I realize that.
Well, I'm looking forward to Zelda, honestly. I don't know if it's enough to support an entire 3-day trade show, but it should be fun.
I'm going to play the new Zelda. You know, it's fine, but my thing is, I hate this assumption that Nintendo has that if you're a Nintendo fan, you're a fan of this property. It would be like if Microsoft just had Sea of Thieves at you know, their conference or whatever, just showed up that off this year, which we assume they're going to because they've been hinting on Twitter that it's coming.
Been ramping up, yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, I feel like Nintendo needs to diversify their showings just a bit more. They have this assumption that if you're a Nintendo fan, you're going to be a fan of like Mario and Zelda and whatnot. But you know what? You need to cast a wide net, Nintendo, because yes, I like Zelda, but it's I mean, obviously I'm a Donkey Kong fan when it comes to your showings, and I'm a fan of your other properties, but just having one game be the crux of your lineup at E3, it's so underwhelming.
So as a Six Sigma graduate, your advice to Nintendo is to diversify their portfolio.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get through a bit of due diligence before we dive into our listener thoughts and wishes and dreams, and hopefully very little about Kevin Callahan.
You know what? I am fully on board the Kevin Callahan Express, as we all know. But even I think we're not going to see anything from the storied saga of Diddy Kong Racing NX this year.
This year? You're qualifying it.
No, I mean, it might be coming, you know, later this year when they give us our NX reveals. But,
yeah, of course.
You know, despite the fact that Monster Games is working on a NASCAR game, I remain hope. Maybe that's just an elaborate smokescreen.
Wait, you don't think that Diddy Kong could be the new number 3?
Well, you know what? God needed a driver, and he took number 3, and he's racing with the Angels now.
You could tell that we were both raised in the South.
different wings of the South, though.
Right.
Like I'm right up on the ass of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, and I'm right in the Gulf of Mexico, in the armpit of America, or I was at one point.
Right. So you're more Southwest. I'm more on the verge of Appalachia, where. But all the same, Dale Earnhardt transcends all sectors of the American South. So,
yep, let that be his claim to fame. So,
due diligence. All right, Patreon. Let me do this one, Chad, because I'm feeling good about it. The DK Vine Patreon. Yes. The DK Vine Patreon. There has never been a better time to join. Why is that? because E3 is what this was made for, baby. We can't say what yet, but we have got some special surprises for the patrons coming this E3. And what we can say is, if you're a member of the DK Vine Inner Circle, you're going to be getting some hot, fresh updates from the show floor. Baby, you're going to get exclusive pictures, intel, whatnot.
Pictures? Static imagery? Surely you jest.
That's right, but pictures that IGN is too afraid to get for you.
Like the toilet next to the Nintendo booth?
I'll do what I can to get a picture of the goddamn urinals, all right?
No, not the urinals. That's illegal. Just...
That's illegal. Well, good thing the Inner Circle is a private chat then.
Oh, God. Yeah, but the Kongversation certainly is not. You've just heightened security at the LA Convention Center by saying this.
I'm joking. There will be no urinal pictures. Wink, wink.
Uh-huh.
This is the sound my eyelashes make when I shut them back and forth. Anyway, but fear not, if you are not a member of the Patreon, then you will still be getting the same degree of DK Vine coverage. We've got content for everybody, and that's why you should take the opportunity to join the DK Vine forum.
Yes.
And that is where the party happens every year. We are launching, well, if you're listening to this not live, and if you're not a Patreon or patron listening to this early, then the E3 2016 discussion forum is already up and running, which is the central hub of activity for the next week on DK Vine. For anything DKU or not. So
right.
It's a great place.
One of the fun traditions during all the press conferences is to be the first person to post the thread about the new game, because typically, whether the game is DKU or not, it will get a dedicated thread if someone wants to talk about it. But your name could live on in infamy or in regular old fame. If you're the first person to post it. Although actually I probably shouldn't have said that now, because now we're going to have like a deluge of duplicate posts for games.
What I like about it is that we always, for some reason, we have these weird anal traditions on DK Vine. Mm-hmm. Not the ones you're thinking of, Chad. No, these are actually anal retentive traditions.
Yes.
That's
Thank you for clarifying.
So we always have a preface on the beginning of every thread that says E3 year : and then the game title. And so it cracks me up. Somebody's been bringing back old threads on the forum recently. So on the main site, you see the 3 most recent threads of activity at any given time. And today I saw E3 2004 Banjo Pilot, and somebody was just talking in this thread from 12 years ago. And these things live on through time.
But I think it's hilarious though that we never bother changing the topic title once the game has been released.
No. So it's weird. I know there's some Smash Brothers threads that are still kicking around that have whatever year. I was E3 2014, I think. Yeah. Then E3 2013 there was a Smash Brothers thread. So it just keeps going and going and going.
What do we do for games that are unveiled outside E3? Is it Nintendo Direct, Mario versus Donkey Kong, minis on the move?
We don't do that because we place a great deal of importance and reverence on E3.
I see.
But anyway, dkvine.com/forum. This week, there's never been a better time to join that. And you also want to stay plugged into DK Vine on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, and YouTube, because all 4 will have content coming this E3. They all have exclusive content unique to them. Yes. So check those out, and that you can always find those at dkvine.com/ whatever it is, right. /Facebook, /Twitter, /Tumblr, /YouTube.
And I want to place a special emphasis on YouTube. We toyed a bit with YouTube last year with our Which Brothers Bears Best series, and we had a few follow-up pieces from E3 times, like the interview with Mike Currington.
We did DK rap performance on the streets of LA.
That's true. That was our true crime streets of LA. Wow, that's a dated reference.
I was like, what?
That game from the original Xbox where you could go to MapQuest and print out maps and drive around Los Angeles. It was like
honestly, that could be the subtitle of DK Vine. DK Vine. That's a dated reference.
Oh, I was thinking True Crime Streets of LA could be the subtitle of Los Angeles.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, either works. Pick your poison, depending on what it is you're interested in talking about at any given moment.
Anyway, YouTube.
Yeah, check out our YouTube. We really are going to be putting up some real solid substantive content, and as per usual, we're going to have some traditional E3 conversations.
Yes. Which you can also listen to on iTunes or SoundCloud or Stitcher or the site. You can get the MP3 off the site if you're really, really that particular.
Yeah. And when I say traditional, of course, I don't mean DK Vine traditional. I mean that Hyle and I will be rigidly observing religious norms.
That's right. That's right. Programming note, though, it should be pointed out that the conversations during E3 will not be live streamed for the patrons. Unfortunately, there's just no way to sync up times while we're out there because you really just can't schedule out in advance. However, we will have surprises to make it up to the patrons, so stay tuned.
Yay! Go to all our social media and subscribe to the thing.
I also want to give a plug, as I know you do, to our own Cameron Regal, who is now selling, he's titled it The Rarely Seen Archipelago. It's a print of a drawing you may have all seen last E3, and he is selling that, and you can find that at dkvine.com/clutch.
Mm-hmm. That's his forum name.
Yes, yeah. But he's also very clutch. According to our friend Amir, that means something.
Yeah, that's my favorite Amirism, which I learned is actually something that people say, like, in the popular culture, and I'm just so out of touch. I thought it was his catchphrase.
DK Vine, we're so out of touch, we thought that was his catchphrase.
Right. Yeah, I am incredibly off fleek.
What?
Yeah, that's apparently a thing people say, too.
Oh, God damn it, people. Stop it.
Stop making things up.
All right. Well, anyway, now through Wednesday, Cameron is selling these at a special discount exclusively for DK Viners. Ooh. So you want to go to dkvine.com/clutch and be sure to type in the coupon code N8JGKFAA. All capital letters. I don't know if that matters or not. I haven't tested them out myself, but N8JGKFAA. I hope you wrote those down.
I will be tweeting those for anyone who's interested.
I will be Facebooking them as well, and we'll probably make a forum post about it, I'm sure. But Cameron's offering them at 20% off now through Wednesday. Special E3 treat for you all. So,
yeah. And actually, we should mention that these are pretty much ground up, redrawn, and reworked from the version that he had at E3, because that was for a much tinier postcard, and we gave those out to a few of the people that we visited at Rare and Playtonic. But
and I think Mitchell Wolf got one as well.
That's right, he did. Mitchell, you dog. I'm sure we'll see him again in a week.
Well, we're apparently going to see a few people are going to be out there this year from the DK Vine forum. So
that'd be fun.
We'll have to be sure to meet up with them at some point.
Yeah, but yeah, Cameron, when he blew it up to what could go up to basically a 2x3 foot poster sized, obviously the resolution wasn't where you would want it for something like that, presumably 300 DPI at least. So he redrew it, and it looks amazing. It's even better than the version from last year at E3. It would be a fantastic addition to your wall. dkvine.com/clutch.
That's right. So there you go. I think that's the extent of the due diligence. Happy E3, everybody. If you're listening to this just as it went up on YouTube, Chad and I are probably on a plane right now, or we're at least en route to the airport. So, this time, in a couple hours, we'll be in Los Angeles. Exciting.
Oh, boy. And we actually are going to be on the same flight this year because you're connecting in Newark.
So are you.
Well, no, I'm leaving from Newark. You're connecting.
Oh, you're actually leaving you're going to Jersey to fly out. You're not flying out from JFK.
No, it was actually, there was a cheaper flight I could get from Jersey, which, I mean, all Newark, LaGuardia and JFK all service New York City. It's like a it's a 45-minute train ride to the airport to the Newark airport.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, Chad and I are going to be on the same flight, which will be hilarious when it crashes. It will cripple DK Vibe, but luckily we have Matt, Cameron, and Nick. So,
yeah. And it's completely meaningless because I think we're going to be forced to sit in completely different rows on the plane.
Right, because we couldn't pick our seats, or at least I couldn't. So,
yeah. So it means nothing, but yeah, at least at least we're going to have the day the fan site died. So.
It's gonna be
Miss American Pie. We got to talk about some news, right?
I was gonna say that song could be just called Mrs. Pie.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah. So, we got to talk about some news. Well, this relates to E3 in such that they titled it the E3 trailer.
A little early, but sure.
Yeah, I'm curious, like why they released this. So you think this would like ride the wave of news during the actual show, Playtonic? Maybe they just wanted to get it in advance. I don't know.
Maybe it's the same kind of ethos that Nintendo is following with more or less avoiding a lot of big announcements during the E3 show itself, because my suspicion is that Nintendo wants to control a news cycle in a month or two. Maybe Playtonic wanted to get out in front of it so that they could control the pre-E3 news cycle.
Well, it's definitely got people talking about Yooka-Laylee heading into the show, so, I mean, good on them. But yes, they released the official E3 trailer for Yooka-Laylee, and with it came our first real good look at the game in motion since last year. And
it's looking great.
It's looking fantastic. It's weird to think, because in your head, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, they look current gen when you think back to them, but then you actually play them and you realize, oh wait, these were N64 games. So to actually see Yooka-Laylee, a current gen game, but develop that art style in mind, it's a weird disconnect. It's like, whoa, is this what games look like now?
Yeah. Well, it's the same sort of feeling that I got playing Tropical Freeze, where, you feel like you're playing a render for the first time.
Yeah. It looks fantastic. And, from the trailer, we got some new nuggets of information, and I guess unfortunately, there's a delay. I don't think it's unfortunate, because I think a delay can only mean good things. But,
yeah.
And it's not really a delay, considering they never gave us a firm release date. It was just tentative during the Kickstarter. But
yeah, and let's keep in mind, they launched the Kickstarter with that October date before they had an inkling of how many stretch goals they were going to hit and how expanded the scope of the game would be.
Right.
So I think this is largely a reaction to the fact that they did hit every single stretch goal, and the scope is much bigger than originally anticipated.
Yeah, so Yooka-Laylee is not coming out in 2016. However, it is coming out Q1 2017. So
That's
not
fair.
that much of a long wait. And keep in mind, Banjo-Kazooie itself was delayed 6 months and came out all the better for it.
Yeah.
So
in keeping with the tradition.
Here's hoping Yooka and Laylee will appear in Diddy Kong Racing NX slightly beforehand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting, because that'll be around the same time that the NX should be coming out if Nintendo maintains their schedule.
It'll be a nice swan song for the Wii U for anybody who adopted that version. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I wound up with the Xbox One.
For some reason I got the Wii U version, but I'll get it for Xbox too, because I want to support Playtonic any way I can.
Yeah, absolutely. So should we talk about some content from the trailer or the PlayStation Access interview before we get to our calls?
Yeah, well, real quick. I mean, in the trailer, we just saw a lot of stuff we had known about in the news orgy from the past 2 weeks. But in motion, it was cool to see. But they also had a post-trailer scene, I guess, between Yooka and Laylee, where we saw the gibberish speak for the first time, and we also saw some clever little Easter eggs and self-deprecating humor at that. I guess the Easter eggs, let's talk about those first. There is a Jiggy parasol in one of the glasses in the back. It's Jiggy from Banjo-Kazooie, but in parasol form.
Right, which I think is it's just a tiny Jiggy, really.
Right. It's a garnish, like it's a garnish on the side.
A garnish. Yes, that's a better. Yeah. It's like you'd put an olive wedge. An olive wedge.
Olive wedge.
Gross.
What?
It's like a martini for the Little Bits. Do you remember that cartoon? Never mind.
Little bit. I think I do remember the Little Bits. I hated that. Yet I was a kid, so I watched it every afternoon, even though I despised it.
Yeah, the song, if I remember correctly, it was something like, there are little bits of lessons to be learned. Something like that. It was just like baldly trying to convince parents that this is a worthwhile experience for your children.
Weren't they people? Did they have like tails or something? Like, weren't they like rodent people?
Probably. Let's go with that.
All right. So anyway, wow.
Olive wedge.
Olive wedge, yeah. What is a wedge of olive anyway?
It's very tiny.
Anyway, there's also a book, and I don't know if we can say this is a reference to Mr. Pants, but it is a book entitled Pants and Why You Should Wear Them or something like that. And it's Y fronts, but they're green Y fronts, so just changed up a little bit.
Right. And if you look else in screenshots that I think were in the Edge article, the shot of the bat ship crazy. I'm getting scrambled. The shot of the bat ship crazy had a pair of blue pants.
Blue Y fronts, right?
Yeah. So obviously there's something going on with the pants on the ship, but I'm glad that they opted not for the red one because that is so iconic. But it's a nice reference.
But here's the thing, Mr. Pants. These are clearly Mr. Pants branded pants. Clearly he's just spread out a bit and he's introduced multiple colors in his line, much like Nintendo did with the Game Boy.
Yeah. And in fact, in It's Mr. Pants, wouldn't the screen transitions actually have a whole bunch of different colored ones?
Yeah. So he himself prefers the red ones, but clearly there's a shade of pants for everybody.
Right.
So it's just a nice little bit of nods to the greater Rare shared universe, what we call the Donkey Kong universe. So it's nice to have those further connections in addition to Royston and the DK rappers.
Yeah. There was also a little dig at nuts and bolts in it, but I think it was nice in this case that the reference was to the Playtonic team being involved in nuts and bolts.
It was clearly self-deprecating. It wasn't. It seems like the last 2 weeks everybody's been wanting to talk about the story of Yooka-Laylee and how it got some thinly veiled shots at modern day Rare, or at least Microsoft. But this was clearly self-deprecating, but it wasn't tiresome in its because you can be overly self-deprecating at times. I think maybe like that's what Nuts and Bolts felt like at times. It was funny when they did it, but it was also got to be a bit much at times when it just felt like it was a Viking funeral for Rare at the time. Clearly it wasn't, but
it got in and out, and it was fine. The one thing though, it did create another tidal wave of, despite the fact that they said this lot, might turn it into a Cars game or might add a Cars section, there was yet another deluge of vitriol being hurled at Rare, specifically referencing that comment in the trailer. If you look on Reddit, on YouTube.
Yeah. So, Jeff Onan of DK Vine fame, he said he tried to set the record straight on Reddit that no, a lot of people on the Yooka-Laylee team worked on Nuts and Bolts. That's what it was referencing, and he got downvoted. While everybody spouting the lies got upvoted like 60 times. So it's tiresome, but at the very least, it's nice to see. And it's nice, for those of us who actually pay attention to these things. It made me smile.
Yeah, it's at a point though, unfortunately, and not really. And not thoroughly Playtonic's fault, but where
not at all
the cheekiness is more trouble than it's worth because of the the firestorm that it causes.
Honestly, I think we just need to get over this cycle. Yooka-Laylee needs to come out. Sea of Thieves needs to come out, and I think after that, a lot of this angst will be worked out of everybody's system. I'm hoping.
God, let's hope. Yeah.
But we just kind of because the new era of Rare, they had a Rare replay, but Sea of Thieves will be the first game out of this kind of new era. So let's get over this hurdle, everybody, together, and maybe it can be a brighter future.
Yeah, I just wish that this wasn't the part of every goddamn conversation about Playtonic, or at least with anyone like outside the DK Vine sphere, it seems like that's the brick wall that you run into every single time, and it's tiresome, and I wish there wasn't so much material to subtly reinforce that.
But here's why I'm glad that DK Vine is actually here. It's like
tell me more, Hyle.
No.
Founder of DK Vine,
co-founder.
Right.
No, I'm glad that the community is here because it's a place for sane refuge from this. If DK Vine didn't exist, I would be pulling out my hair right now because I would just be a lone wolf in the wilderness. But there's a community of like-minded weirdos around us, and that's nice.
Right.
So, anyway, let's talk about some of the information that we got from Gavin Price and Chris Sutherland and the crew during a PlayStation Access interview. I can't even say PlayStation because it's so weird to say on the show. PlayStation, what's that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Minecraft on it.
Even in my show notes, I didn't spell it right. I was like, these letters don't go together.
Yeah.
PlayStation Access. It's a YouTube channel put out by the PlayStation, and they went to Playtonic to interview them. It's exciting for PlayStation fans because they've never had a Rare-esque game to grace their console, you know? Nintendo and Microsoft fans, it's old hat to them, but Yooka-Laylee, this is like, whoa, on PlayStation. So
right.
I appreciate the enthusiasm coming from Sony on this. But they interviewed Gavin first, Gavin Price, and he gave some interesting tidbits that we did not know that really made me jump up out of my chair. So we know Shipwreck Creek is the home of Yooka and Laylee. And what we didn't know, or at least I didn't realize, was that it's actually up high in a mountain. And so Gavin says, why is the batship crazy like up high on a mountain? How did the ship?
Because that allows them to make an up Shipwreck Creek joke.
Right. But he specifically said, well, how did a shipwreck get up that high? We'll possibly find out in a future game.
Ah, yes. Yeah. So they're actually laying some of the foundation for world building, they sort of promised in the Kickstarter.
That is so cool. Like, not even like a Yooka-Laylee game necessarily. Like, we might find out in a future Playtonic game that has nothing to do with the characters Yooka and Laylee. So, holy shit. That is like awesome. That's awesome for somebody who just loves poring over the little details like I do, and I know you do.
Yes.
And
now, do you have any theories about where the ship came from? Then,
yes, obviously it was a slave ship brought to the mountain by Jacob.
do you think that Trouza will be able to sell us an uncorking move at some point?
I just hope there's a character introduced that has plenty of guy liner. So
yeah, that'll be a dedicated transformation from Dr. Puzz.
Yeah. So clearly, I'm rewatching Lost right now with
you don't say.
With my fiance.
How far up are you now? I assume at least season 5.
No. We just finished season 4, so Ben just moved the island and.
You've already seen The Constant, so it's downhill from there.
No, season 5's awesome.
No, it's awesome. Constant's the high point of the series, so it's a slight downgrade, but it's a downgrade.
I would say the bar for the rest of the series was raised after that. So it was like consistently the quality went up starting in season 4.
Right.
But yeah, The Constant's probably the best episode, but the whole series got a whole lot better as it went on, especially in season 5 with the time travel shenanigans.
I miss these tangents. We really need to do another Oops All Tangents episode.
I think we should just do the whole series of Lost. Podcast the whole series. Like, we'll do a couple episodes at a time. Oops, all tangents. Yeah.
Like Kumail Nanjiani's X-Files podcast.
Yeah. But it would be more on topic with the conversation, considering how much similar archetypes and themes are in Lost and the DKU in general. But anyway.
Anyway.
So, moving on, it's also confirmed, and we had this discussion when Dr. Puzz was revealed, like, what the fuck is she? Because she's an octopus, but she's got, like, human-like legs. Well,
she really did look like a cocktail napkin doodle from Ed Bryan.
But it's confirmed that Dr. Puz genetically experimented on herself. So the only question is, and Gavin specified that this is why it's clear that she might be a competent scientist, but she's also kind of a mad scientist at the same time. Much like Mumbo was kind of a rubbish shaman. But,
right.
He could still turn you into things, so what are you going to do? But I have to wonder, what was she exactly before she became a weirdo octopus hybrid? Like, was she human, or was she some other kind of creature? Is this the new Mumbo's true face?
Well, she looks like she's got a bowl cut at least, or I can't tell if that's part of like her cephalopod head covering thingy. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It might be though. That'd be cool if there was an unmasking element like that abandoned Banjo-Kazooie storyline.
Maybe she's actually a covert rare owned IP that they'll just like hint at, but they can never say outright who she is.
Oh, you mean like that thing swimming around her face?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Royston knows her from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Allegedly, Royston. Allegedly,
Royston. Wink, wink. I did it again. So there's also co-op mode, which I didn't know about. Did you?
Not the co-op specifically, although that's very exciting. That's one of the things that that has kind of engaged me about Sea of Thieves, actually, and it's really cool to hear that there are, couch multiplayer or even just multiplayer in general experiences set aside for the main campaign in this game, because it's like the first question that I ask these days, since I love playing games with Janelle, my wife. Is there a multiplayer option? And if there's not, then I have precious little time to play games these days. So if I can, preferably it'll be spending time with a loved one. So yeah, I'm really enthused that it's going to be. I don't know. Do we really know anything about it?
No, not really.
Okay, yeah. It would be. We did find out that there are these googly-eyed enemies in the game that are just googly eyes that will affix themselves to inanimate objects, and they will come to life and attack you, which is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, that's just meta to the max. I love it.
Yeah, I was theorizing on the forum a few days back about like a devil bottles, like a bottles revenge kind of mode, that canned feature from Banjo-Tooie, that in which the second player could play as the googly eyes, and it's up to them when they attach themselves to something whether they help you or hinder your progress. That would be pretty cool. But
yeah, but that's not really co-op, is it?
Well, it's up to you whether it's co-op or counter-op.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah. I'm thinking more like Tropical Freeze's multiplayer, where you can jump on the other person's back if need be, but you can also
really
split
cool.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like so you would have a dedicated Laylee kind of flapping around, or you could join back up with Yooka?
Right.
Oh, that could be really neat.
So time will tell. They didn't specify if there's going to be online co-op, but that would be nice too for those of us who like maybe want to play, with friends from a distance. Granted, I'm going to be married by the time this game comes out, but it might be nice to play Yooka-Laylee with, say, Chad, for example. So
right, that would be cool. Have you ever played the? I'm thinking now, like, how would the split screen work? Because in a 2D game like Tropical Freeze, they more or less make you stay on the same screen, and they can zoom out slightly, but then they bubble you back. Have you ever played any of the Lego games, like the more recent ones in co-op, or seen videos of them?
I played an in-store demo once, if that counts.
Well, when they have, probably not, because the feature I'm referring to is when you have a split-screen multiplayer. It's this really kind of elegant thing they do, and I've never really seen it in a different game, where when both the camera zooms out to an extent to keep both players on screen, but when they go too far apart, it like very slightly the screen just sort of splits, but the angle of the split isn't necessarily vertical. It sort of angles based on what would give both players more valuable screen real estate for what's in front of them or around them. And then as they come closer together, it just merges back into a single image again.
Weird.
Yeah, it's really cool to see in action. And if there was the kind of split up that you're talking about, that would be a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, or maybe they'll just make it interact with the HoloLens, and that way you can just see whatever, whenever. And
Jump
if you
around and collect coins?
Young Yooka-Laylee, that has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Why bother with the main game when we can have a prequel beforehand?
But anyway, this is just a lot of good Yooka-Laylee news. I'm really excited about all of it. And by the way, I love that retro. I'm just gonna call him retro. It's the joke's done, I think.
Retro. I thought it was Rextro. Is it not Rextro anymore?
It's retro. Like
in the PlayStation Access video, Gavin Price called him Rextro 64. He forgot the 64s.
but he called him retro. I didn't hear the Rextro. I heard the retro.
Oh, I don't know at this point.
Okay, we still don't know this. We still don't know this fucking.
Still don't know what to call this damn dinosaur.
All right, well, the dinosaur who looks like a Kremlin from Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yeah,
I love the look of the arcade. By the way, it's just it's like got like the black lights and it's got the orange. It's just the perfect arcade setting. It's the kind of setting that I pine for. Just the settings of old arcades that I miss seeing, except in huge tourist destinations.
It reminds me of the arcades that you would get with the air hockey table at a skating rink in the 90s.
Yeah,
the one that's adjacent to the dedicated room for birthday parties.
And there would be like laser tag on the side. Yeah, yep. Definitely. I love the look of this. This is perfect. I love the look of the whole game. Like, I am so hyped for Yooka-Laylee. But that's not the only game we're going to see at E3. But before that, I think we should just take some calls because
we have 15 of them.
Yeah. So let's get to Scraps. Let's get to Mamechi. Let's get to the rest. The Professor and Marianne.
There are 13 professors and Marianne and Mary's Anne. All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's the match.
There he is.
Again, my dog's taking good care of my puppy, right? But anyway, so you guys are asking about E3 and what we want to see. Well, go on. I'm gonna say a bit about it. But anyway, I know not many of you guys have confidence in them. Neither do I. But sure as hell hope that Nintendo doesn't throw all their eggs into the Zelda basket of not giving a shit, because here's the thing. So as we all know, Nintendo's plan for E3 is to show Zelda, and then they added, we're going to show some other games like Pokemon and Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is stupid Fire Emblem crossover with some idol pop band thing, which is stupid. but anyway,
he hates Fire Emblem.
Here's what I'm saying. We're going to E3. You know the E3 live thing, right? The public thing. I'm going to that. So, all I have to play is Zelda and baby Pokemon. The fuck is that? I mean, you could show Paper Mario, which looks like crap, but it'll be something. You could show Rhythm Heaven, which is, the thing that coming out this year. So, here's the other thing that bugs me about that. Nintendo announced the Comic-Con plans. And guess what? We're going to let people play. We're going to let people play. People are going to play.
This is Reggie.
Donkey Kong Country Returns and New Super Mario Bros. 2. Those games are 3 years old. What's up with that?
It's still going.
The thing that bothers me most is that
he's in his refractory period now.
They have games they could show. I know it. But they're just banking it on Zelda because the Wii U is dead. It's dead. And you know what? I don't have hope in NX. It's going to be a piece of crap.
What?
It's going to suck.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't even like Zelda. So what's there for me to be excited about? But anyway, my question, another thing I want to say, which is a question. If Rare would announce the Viva Pinata sequel, would you be happy with that? Because I would. Viva Pinata is the best Rare game. I don't care about Yooka-Laylee. Oh, return of the platformer genre. But what about the return of the gardening simulator with pinatas? We need that. I need that. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna go now. I'm losing it, but seriously. Viva Pinata has to return. It has to. I'd rather have that over any other Rare game return. Either that or Mickey Speedway USA. Bye.
There it is.
It sounded like throughout that call, Mamechi was getting text messages from his pharmacist.
So much anger. Wow. That was, wow, the dark side of Mamechi, man. Well, I'm
so
not
a couple things.
Okay.
Were there? I'm trying to figure out whether there was a question in there, but would you be happy to see Viva Pinata 3?
Well, let's give some context to that real quick. So the other day, Microsoft's Xbox Twitter account, the official Xbox Twitter account
At Xbox UK, actually.
Yes. Oh, it's the UK one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, they posted this image of a gamer's brain, like just in these different segments, and they said, "Well, what game has been on your mind lately?" And in this, there's like the Fallout guy in there, and then there was some what looked like Mario coins. I don't know, it's weird.
No, but then they had the single line down the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they also had a Horstachio from off of Viva Pinata, and people were like, "What? What? Why is that in there?"
Yeah. Although very quickly, the DK Vine forum's own MF Wolf, Mitchell, deduced that this may have actually been an image in promotion of last year's E3, and Horstachio might have been representing Rare Replay, because a lot of those titles were previewed at last year's show.
I don't know, though, because it seems like as far as Rare Replay goes, like Battletoads was the go-to game to signify that and Maybe Conquer. Not that I disagree, that might be an explanation, but it's also worth noting that as Young Conquer was in the works, and yes, I know Young Conquer, don't have to say it, but they also, had featured Conquer in a lot of images. So this could be hinting at something. I very much doubt Rare is working on a Viva Pinata game. I feel like all their time would be spent on Sea of Thieves, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, it's like Rare is I think people think that Rare are bigger than they are. I
mean, they're pretty big. They're pretty massive, but at the same time, as far as
they're probably like between, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's somewhere between like 100 and 130 people, something like that, which is nowhere near what you get at like the multi-studio girth of Rockstar or something like that. So it's, I think that Sea of Thieves, to get it at the level of quality that it currently is, or that it seems to be anyway, is that that probably would take a majority of Rare's resources. So I don't think we should expect to see anything else this year, but it'd be cool if we did.
Yeah, and who knows, it's possible that somebody else might be developing the IP. I don't know.
I hadn't even considered that, but then we've got Killer Instinct being done by another house. So
and apparently that's got its dedicated fans. It seems like they've done right by Killer Instinct. So, it's possible for other people to develop Rare properties and have them turn out good. So,
speaking of Killer Instinct fans, little plug for Killer Instinct Central, run by our good friends Amir and Dan Duncan.
Yes, no relation to Craig Duncan, or
that we know of,
or Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Oh yeah, there might be him though. Let's take another call.
Yeah, okay.
Or should we talk about like Nintendo anger?
Mamechi pretty much said it a lot more bitterly than I said it at the top of the show. Like, I like Zelda, but I'm not a Zelda diehard. So
you're not a Zelda-let? Zelda-let?
I see what you tried to do there.
Tried to. It would have read better if you had actually read it.
Right. I don't know. Like, it feels like to be a Nintendo fan these days, you have to be a fan of Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and if it's weird if you're not a fan of those and you're kind of on the outside looking in. So I feel like I'm on the outside looking in with Nintendo as of late, and I feel like this E3 is just reflective of that. So
yeah,
I agree. I don't share Mamechi's seething rage, but I can understand the frustration that could lead one there. So
yeah,
all I have to say though is this is the E3 for Sea of Thieves and Yooka-Laylee, and there's plenty to be excited about for both. So let's just go in with happy thoughts.
All right. So with happy thoughts, let's take our second of 15 calls.
All right. Time management.
Hello again, Chad and Hyle. I'm resubmitting my call again because I draw on for quite too long. It's Banjo-Kazooie 2000. I'm here about the wildest E3 hopes and dreams and wishes, etc. Let's start off with Rare. Now, Rare, I'm not sure because I'm really looking forward to more Sea of Thieves stuff if they end up releasing that, like perhaps another trailer like the one shown last year at E3, or concept art, things like that. Besides the stuff dropped on Twitter, which is very few and far in between, and they're merely screenshots, it's still a lot to see, like to see the game, you know, the way it looks and things like that, but like another trailer showing more aspects of the game, like maybe more character interactions and things like that, and how like the multiplayer experience works, like how the whole experience works. A Captain Bones photo op. Now this would be interesting. Like the statues they had last year at E3, perhaps they could use a mock-up of the Captain Bones that's been touring around in several of the Twitter posts by Rare and Facebook posts, etc. So that'd be really interesting. Also, some more information on this supposed Battletoads game that was rumored about a couple weeks back. That'd be really interesting if they made another Battletoads game, perhaps a Viva Pinata based on the most recent tease from Microsoft, well, the Xbox account on Twitter. For Playtonic games, perhaps a more recent playable demo would suffice. I mean, not really suffice because we just got all this insane amount of news. I mean, it took 2 Kongversation episodes just to, you know, get it all out of our systems collectively. But that would be interesting. Toy box mode, maybe a playable version of that. A showcase of concept art from Stephen Mails, Ed Bryan, etc., like showing how, you know, they build characters and things like that, you know, where you start and then where you end, and maybe some more music from Grant Kirkhope and things like that. But for Nintendo, I don't know. They could announce another Smash Bros., but I have one hope. Diddy Kong Racing NX. I still believe in Kevin Callahan! But besides that, I have to go before I get cut off again. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'll see you perhaps next week. Banjo-Kazooie 2000, out. I guess.
Thank you, Banjo-Kazooie 2000.
I like how they have to announce that they're ending the call, you know, dramatically. Yeah. It's not just, okay, bye. It's no.
I want every single regular caller to have their own catchphrase or their own sign-off.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm Scrap 69 and the spin stops here because I'm looking out for you.
What? All right.
He appropriated a Bill O'Reilly for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I can see Scraps being a Bill O'Reilly fan. If he had access to Bill O'Reilly. But, so, well, we don't know what form or fashion Playtonic's actually going to be at E3. Are they going to have, a booth? Where? I mean,
yeah, I don't know that they're going to have a booth. It might be sort of the Grant Kirkhope said on Twitter very recently that his media schedule is absolutely insane. So I think they may just be showing off the latest version of the game, or maybe the toy box, to a bunch of media personnel and just kind of roving the floor in between those media spots. But a lot of the content that Banjo-Kazooie 2000 talked about, I think would have a great home just on Playtonic's website or as backer updates.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring E3 to the people.
In the same way that Memechi is enraged over.
Yes, the Sea of Thieves stuff. I agree. We're assuming it's going to be shown off a great deal this year. It's been a year since it's been announced, so I mean, logically, yeah, and that seems to be what's been being hinted at over on Twitter and other social media spheres. So
yeah, I mean, there was basically there's like a countdown to E3 going on by one of the official Xbox accounts, and today they posted like a 5-day symbol, and inside the number 5 was a screenshot from last year's E3 trailer for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's definitely going to be there. We just don't know in what form or fashion. So we'll wait and see. But I have a feeling we're going to know a lot more about Sea of Thieves this time Monday, you know?
Indeed. That'll be really, really cool. I cannot wait to see, hopefully there's a new trailer. And the same thing that Banjo-Kazooie 2000 mentioned about trying to figure out how it's structured from a multiplayer point of view. I mean, that's, again, going back to what I said earlier in the show, I thrive on multiplayer gaming these days, and maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know.
No, I mean, I've always loved co-op gaming from the days I played Donkey Kong Country with my friend Elliot. And it's something that I feel like is lacking in games, or was lacking in games for a long time, is genuinely good, thrilling co-op gaming.
Yeah.
Where you're working together for a common goal rather than trying to tear each other apart. So, yeah, I mean, I know you've got that with Minecraft right now, in the DK Minecraft server. So, I'm hoping, to see that both Sea of Thieves and Yooka can bring co-op gaming, to the forefront of what the games we cover. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed for more info.
And I really doubt we're going to see Diddy Kong Racing NX at E3. I doubt we're going to see any NX news. I mean, I'm still hopeful that maybe this is all an elaborate smokescreen and Nintendo is going to show stuff off, but I really think they're set in their ways. This is not anti-Nintendo bias. This is just... It's clear to me they're really just going to talk about Zelda and Pokemon and some other minor stuff, but it's pretty much going to be the immersive experience they talked about. Zelda, Zelda, and more Zelda.
Yeah, so I'll enjoy at least one of those Zeldas, but maybe not one per day.
Well, the third one's always the worst.
That's what we learned from the Jurassic Park franchise, now on Netflix.
And Godfather.
Yeah.
And X-Men.
And Ghostbusters. Oh my god, I hate women.
You misogynist pig, you.
Let's take another call.
All right.
Hello, this is I Am Gibbon, and I see that you're calling for wildest E3 2016 hopes and dreams for Rare, Playtonic, and Nintendo. Let's see, for Rare, I'd love to see... I'd just love to see a new big Rare platformer, like Rare's working on Sea of Thieves, and Microsoft's working with, other Rare properties with Killer Instinct and stuff. I'd love to see them actually just use... Oh, I know. I'd love to see Young Conquer as a full game instead of just a tech demo. I really enjoyed the videos that went up on the site recently from YouTube, unlike some others, and I'd love to see it just fleshed out. For Playtonic, I'd love to see some Chameleon Twist references in Yooka-Laylee. And for Nintendo, I want Donkey Kong 3D Land. Yeah. I think that's it. Hopefully this call doesn't get lost into the ether this time. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you for the call. I am Gibbon, and no, the ether regurgitated it right back up into our queue. So
I was disappointed I couldn't impersonate him this time.
I really appreciate you giving it another shot. Thankfully, we got you on the air. Yeah, so Young Conquer, that's one that hasn't been brought up yet this show. Well, you alluded to it earlier.
Yeah. So as we've discussed, Young Conquer is available on the HoloLens that are in the hands of developers right now.
Yeah, it's a dev kit title, not really like a full release game. So we're not giving it the full coverage on DK Vine just yet.
Not yet, but if it makes it out to the ones that are available for mass market, then yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. It didn't look like a Conquer game at all. Really?
I had a different opinion watching the videos, the recent ones that are like, a gameplay stream, essentially. It looked really unfun to me from a gameplay point of view, but the mapping tech was really good. There was no lag whatsoever, and it seemed...
As I said on our Young Conquer mini episode, the technology is amazing. It's just rubbish what they're doing to Conquer.
It's not a... Conquer doesn't run around, jumping on things and collecting coins. He collects wads of cash.
This would be better for Banjo.
Hyle, help me. No, I'm describing a Conquer game and saying it's nothing like a Conquer game.
But Conquer is not a collectathon.
That's true.
Never been a collectathon. This would be better for the Banjo property, honestly. And Yeah, but again, this isn't Rare's fault. This is just something that exists, and we'll cover it if it makes it to full retail. But
what's interesting about those videos? There's a bit of dialogue from Von Krippelspack, and they use his name. They don't call him the Professor, which seems to be Rare's preferred nomenclature these days for obvious reasons.
Which is my preferred nomenclature, because when I'm talking about him on social media or whatnot, I don't like to use the horribly offensive term that his name actually is, which is, it's canon, so whatever. But it's surprising to see, and I don't know, maybe the French developed this, right? Like the collective of France.
Yes, everyone in France all had they put in their 2 cents or francs, if you will.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe they didn't realize the horribly offensive term it was, which we didn't, because we're Americans and we didn't get it until it was explained to us. But interesting to see. I still don't know what Krippelspack is doing in a Conquer prequel game, but hey, maybe
he might have teamed up with Evil Acorn at some point.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain Acorn people to the French. So
let that be on your tombstone.
But hey, I'm sure we'll see something to do with Young Conquer, because I'm sure there will be HoloLens demonstrations at E3. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe we could play it. Maybe we could play Young Conquer.
Maybe we can, yeah. I don't know how that would translate to a YouTube video. We'll see. But
it would just be both of us just wandering around looking at things. All right,
so
let's take another call.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see about Young Conquer at E3, but
I'm excited now with the idea that we might be able to play it, even though it would make the worst possible content,
and it might be a terrible game, but we'll see.
All right.
Hey, it's Karate Joe. I have 2 questions regarding Rare at E3. First of all, do you think Rare, with how it's structured now, is capable of developing 2 high-budget games at the same time? In this case, I'm talking Sea of Thieves and a Banjo game, or a Viva Pinata game. I know Rare Reaper was developed alongside Sea of Thieves, but that's more of a low-budget title. He's going to get the best collection of games ever. Second question, do you think... Wait, hold on. Second question, if not Rare, who would you most want to develop a Banjo game? Realistically. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. So not not for example bands from the British Invasion developing a Banjo game. Realistically, Hyle, who do you think you would like to see?
So the Monkeys then.
The Monkey, exactly. Yeah. They just want to Baron Bird around.
Now they don't. Now, to be fair, they don't develop on their own hardware. But
there was a little cameo at the bottom of Atlantis for their lead guitarist in Banjo-Tooie.
Okay. Yeah, took me a second. Yeah. I was like, Atlantis. That was Donovan.
Anyway, so I don't know. I would say if not Rare, a studio that could present a compelling pitch for a Banjo game that brought with it a new place to take the genre. What I wouldn't want to see is just another repeat of Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie. Playtonic is doing something kind of interesting with the way that the worlds unfold as pages are collected. If there was a studio out there that had a really cool idea for a way to maybe even evolve down the Banjo-Tooie branch of thinking, where the whole game is one giant kind of exploratory puzzle, but taking that somewhere further and more interesting, that's the studio that I would want. I don't really know who that collection of people would be, but that's my answer. It's vague, bit of a cop-out, but there you go.
No, I don't know enough about the studios under Microsoft's wing besides Rare, obviously, to really give any input on this. I think it would almost preferably would be a new team, a new studio or a newer studio. So, I don't know. As for your first question, again, I as we answered before, I think Rare is pretty all in on Sea of Thieves right now. I'm sure they have ideas for what their next game is, though. So, or I'm sure at least they have ideas, that they're developing. But
well, we know through her Twitter profile, Louise O'Connor runs or is a vital part of the incubation department at Rare. I don't know if they've all been siphoned into the Sea of Thieves development effort or not, but presumably there are some new ideas being cooked up. But I think that what happened after Rare Replay was that the Sea of Thieves development probably kicked into high gear around the time of its release, so they were probably largely absorbed by the team. Yeah.
So I doubt they'd be making a full-fledged Banjo sequel somewhere, in the corners of Rare. But I think the best bet for Banjo at this point, honestly, would be if it was developed by another studio with Rare's input and guidance.
Unless someone at Rare actually had a really great idea for it and they could devote the resources to it, then
not impossible. Not impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just don't want someone to make a Banjo game because there needs to be a Banjo sequel. Like there needs to be a reason for it to exist, like a design and gameplay reason, because the Banjo games, with each entry, they kind of evolved the 3D platformer genre, and I would hate for that to stagnate in the series.
You don't want it to become... Oh, God, this is anti-Nintendo bias. You don't want it to become like this new Super Mario Brothers, where it's just stagnant games, release after release, not doing anything really new with the genre. The Greg Malesian approach to Kazooie was always evolving it. Pushing it forward, and you say what you will about nuts and bolts, but it didn't stand still either. It was definitely it didn't really evolve from Tooie, but it definitely went into its own direction. So I would hope that a potential Banjo 3 would definitely grow from where Tooie was, and we hold up Tooie as the high water mark now. So let's see, what a 3E could take us, but yeah.
All right, let's hear from someone else. Thank you, Karate Joe.
Thank you, Karate Joe.
Good day, lads. Scrap69 here. How's it going, eh? Look, I wasn't actually planning on calling, but since Chad insisted on me calling, well, he's insisting on lads calling, I thought I'd
not you
give this a
specifically.
crack. I don't really have anything to talk about E3 except maybe some of the things that I'm looking forward to, eh? So,
okay.
Sea of Thieves. That's going to be a good one. That's thrills.
Nice insight there.
I'm looking forward to the sand in Sea of Thieves. I hope they've got some really good shading for the sand, because you can't have pirate games without any sand.
Where's he going with this?
So, that'll be sick. And Yooka-Laylee, obviously. Can't wait to see the gameplay and the resulting extra shenanigans are going to slip out of their creaking crevices that they call mouths. And and I hope there's more cocks in Yooka-Laylee, because you need more genitalia in that game. Because nothing says kids game like genitals. And maybe, what else do I like that's non-DKU? So there's this game called Wild by Michelle Ansel, and it's got animals and shit, so that's going to be good.
Animals and shit.
That's my call. But wait, hold on, I've got my Yooka-Laylee, so I might as well make up a song while I'm at it. I haven't even thought of any words, so let's do it. Woo!
This is a Perry song?
E3. I got raped by E3. E3.
Wait, what did he say? What was that?
I'm gonna sleep deprived of E3. E3. I like getting raped by E3.
Okay, thank you, Scraps. Thank you for the call.
I wanted to hear where that was going, Chad.
Do you really? Do you want me to play the rest of it?
I mean, we've already committed to that much.
Okay, I believe where last we left off, Scraps liked getting raped by E3. Let's continue.
If that's the case, then it's consensual E3! Yeah! Woo! Oh. Alright, lads. Have a good one, eh?
Are you happy, Hyle?
No, I'm not.
Nor should you be. That wild though. Michel Ancel, isn't he the guy who, if not the creator of Rayman, did like Rayman Origins for Ubisoft? If that's the guy, I would love to figure out what that game is. I haven't heard of it yet.
I want to talk about the sand and Sea of Thieves some more.
It was so weird.
I thought he was going somewhere really, really filthy with it, as he's prone to do. But no, he just really likes sand. Apparently, he likes blood diamonds and sand. That's scraps. Yeah. That's scraps. Right.
Well, I guess when you craft or when you put. Whatever, who cares? All right. I was trying to yes and scrap 69, which is never a good idea.
You did not commit to that bit whatsoever.
No.
All right.
Hey, this is Log Frog from the forum, and holy fuck! This Cuphead looked amazing. It looks so good. It's so fun. I can't wait to play it. 2016. Come on, be over there just so I can play Cuphead. Looks amazing. I love the hand-drawn style. I wish more games would do the hand-drawn style with Cuphead. But that's not a DKU game. Silly Log Frog. You dumbass. We're going to talk about the DKU stuff. Let's start with Nintendo. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's E3 is going to be fan-fucking-tastic. They're not going to show any games besides the Wii U. A couple of mobile games, I think. And I think they're showing off a Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei game. I don't really care about those stupid anime games. Those are for weeaboos based on genres and two pedophiles. They're all the same anyways.
Whoa.
But now let's move on to Rare and Playtonic. Start with Playtonic. Well, I think it was good to see that E3 trailer they released a couple of weeks ago. But, also, I think from Rare we might see. I'm hoping that Rare might show something new, because last year there were rumors going around about how Rare was working on a new secret project. I really hope maybe they'll be showing off that at E3. Maybe a new Battletoads game? Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you, Log Frog. This is the second call referencing a potential Battletoads.
Yeah, I don't think a new Battletoads is in the works. Like, that was like the big rumor last year, but that was just because I think the lead up to Rare Replay, there's a lot of false information going around. I don't know. I mean, they could be working on a new Battletoads, but why is everybody so eager for Rare to be working on their next project when we barely know anything about Sea of Thieves?
Right. I'm with the guy who wants to know what the multiplayer is like in Sea of Thieves. Like,
I want to know what the sand's like in Sea of Thieves. I'm with Scraps.
Yeah.
No, like I
We're
want
each picking a side, and you've chosen yours.
I mean, I understand, like, if, Rare is our favorite studio, on the Kongversation, favorite studio for a lot of you listening at home, but I think we're placing too many hopes and expectations on them when we barely know anything about the game they're actually working on. So,
but Hyle, we're gamers. We can never be satisfied with the immediate future. We always have to be thinking about the next far-flung thing.
I know, but okay, whatever.
This is the end of our TED Talks from 2 years ago all over again.
Yeah. But we know that there's an awesome Rare game coming that's very true to what Rare is. It's not just Connect Sports Rivals, which, there's a reason to be excited about Rare again if you're a longtime Rare fan. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody's just like saying, oh, what if they're working on Viva Pinata? What if they're working on Banjo? What if they're working on Battletoads? No, they're working on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it tremendously.
But yeah, Cuphead looks great. Like, that's the game that made me sit up and take notice last E3.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess presumably it's not out. I haven't really been keeping up with it. So if it is again at E3, that's a reason to take a trip down to the indie wing of the convention center.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we didn't even venture that into there last year.
We were starstruck. We were surrounded by Rare employees for the first time ever. This year it's going to be like old hat. Like, all right, we know all you people.
And then on the Nintendo side, we were starstruck by the guy in the Mario costume and all the booth babes chained to Nintendo 3DSs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just wanted to play Chibi Robo. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to be like awkwardly attached to this woman. All right, let's take another call. Thank you, Logfrog.
Right. Thank you, Logfrog.
Hi, this is Kara Kong. You wanted to know our biggest E3 fantasies. Well, honestly, the thing that I would want, biggest fantasy, not ever probably likely to ever happen, but God, it would be great. I want to see Nintendo try out a Donkey Kong RPG. What if like all this, we're only going to show stuff that you've already seen, mostly Zelda, stuff with all, just kind of them just being coy and not wanting to tell anyone or, get anything leaked or anything like that. What if they were secretly hiding a great game, which they very well could be. I doubt it, but they could be. But what if that game was a Donkey Kong RPG? Think about it, like, you get this super story-based Donkey Kong game with all your favorites, all the Kongs. Donkey Kong goes on an adventure and you get to pick your party. Your party can be like, can have Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Kitty Kong, maybe even Redneck Kong. Who knows? It's a fantasy. So that would be the greatest.
Kong is in my fantasies too.
There could be. They could even go like the Mario RPG route where your greatest enemy becomes one of your party members and you can get like King K. Rool and play as King K. Rool.
Ooh.
That would be great. Yeah. Other than that, nothing that would ever top that as my E3 fantasy. All right. See ya.
All right, Kara, I think you take the cake for most outside-the-box thinking on this one. Well done.
Yeah, I would like to see a Donkey Kong RPG, and I think that's one of my biggest frustrations even today with where the Donkey Kong franchise went after the buyout is that they don't celebrate their characters that well. I mean, we had the Pay-On games, but that's basically it. I feel like all these great characters and ideas are just sitting on a shelf. And while I love what Retro, did with the series, especially Tropical Freeze, which I consider just a stellar game.
Yeah.
It would be nice to explore that lore. There's a reason I got so excited when Gavin Price said they would reveal why the Batship Crazy was stuck up in a mountain in a future game. I like world building. I like the little details. I like believing in a fictional location, and part of that is celebrating characters. So yeah, a Donkey Kong RPG is right up my alley.
Right. Hyle, I know you and I are both fans of Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
And they recently put out a video about the movie Tremors. And in that video, one of the things they said was how a lot of times people just think of Tremors as a Kevin Bacon vehicle. Maybe they'll remember that the dad from Family Ties was in it, but it's actually an ensemble piece. And as I was watching that and hearing them talk about it, it brought me back to the Kong family and the extended cast of those games where people generally only think of Diddy, Donkey, Dixie, but it really is an ensemble piece, and to see that celebrated again would be so cool.
Yeah, the appeal of the Donkey Kong Country series is always that it's a community turning out to go on the adventure with you. It's never just you're going at it alone, which is why Jungle Beat was such a wrong-headed misreading of what Donkey Kong game should be. Fun game. I will fully cop to that, but just the ethos of it were terribly, terribly wrong for Donkey Kong. But a Donkey Kong RPG would have to embrace that, and that's why I think it's one of those white whales of Donkey Kong fans. It's something we always dream about, but we're probably never going to get, because it seems like if they're going to give anybody an RPG, it's going to be Mario again, or it's, I feel like the chances of these great and brilliant side games are few and far between nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah. Gone are even the days of something like a Mario Pinball, you know? So I don't know. I would love to see a Donkey Kong RPG. I still want to see Donkey Kong Racing, for Christ's sake. But yeah, I guess they just have to remain our wildest fantasies for now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, Kara, and sharing your wildest fantasies with us. So far, well, maybe apart from Scraps in the sand, yours is the wildest. So well done.
Scraps loves sand. He's the anti-Hayden Christensen.
I love sand. It's coarse and irritating.
And it gets everywhere.
Hey guys, this is Angry Ancestor. I live in a dead zone, so I just biked around for like 5 minutes looking for service, and I couldn't find any. And then I remembered that I have a landline at my house, so listen, I've been through a lot already. It's only 12:54 p.m., so it's mad early. I'm exhausted. If you guys don't play this, I'm going to be really pissed, and I'm probably going to go take out my anger at www.dkvine.com/interactive/forum. So, here are my E3 2016 predictions. Rare is going to announce Banjo-Kazooie 3 for the Wii U for this holiday season. Playtonic is going to announce that Yooka-Laylee is actually already out. It's already available. The delay was a joke. It was a complete lie. And the game has actually been out for like a few weeks now, so we can all buy it. And we could have bought it, but we just didn't know because they're mad clever like that. And Nintendo is going to announce the NX, obviously, as we all know. And that's actually, it's going to be a suit, a gorilla suit, with an Oculus Rift attached to it, and you basically just live the life of Donkey Kong, and that's what the new console is going to be. It's going to be Donkey Kong Life. What do you guys think of that idea?
I think you're onto something, Angry.
Well, thank you, Angry Ancestor, for biking out to outside the dead zone. I'm picturing. I know you tried to make a Stephen King reference there.
Tried to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was drowned out by the call itself.
Yeah, I like to interrupt.
I'm just picturing he lives out in the desert and he's just biking in this like extreme heat, trying to get a signal so he can call us with this call about the Oculus Rift gorilla suit, which, by the way, I don't think Nintendo is going to be utilizing gorilla suits in the future, considering the guy they put in the Donkey Kong suit to promote Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D suffered a cardiac event while in that costume, and he ended up suing them.
No, Hyle, no. That guy in the Donkey Kong suit was shot by the zookeeper. You're getting your stories mixed up.
That actually bums me out because that's a sad story.
It's an incredibly sad story. I mean, honestly, I feel like the zookeepers kind of did what they had to do, but it's horribly tragic that the decision even had to be made.
Why they even have to do that? I mean, I don't understand the logic.
Well, because the gorilla could have seriously harmed the child if it was not. I mean,
Didn't they shoot him a day later?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Is there a conspiracy theory about this?
No. I thought it came out that they didn't shoot him at the time. They shot him like a day afterwards, according to protocol.
Wait, what? Oh, I didn't hear that part of it. What, did they just tranquilize him the first time?
I don't know, because the story was so painful, I couldn't, I've only been exposed to it in bits and bobs, but I've been, it's just too depressing for me to even...
Oh. My understanding was that, had they tried to tranquilize the gorilla, it could have potentially harmed the child as it was going under. So
maybe that's it. But I don't think the gorilla would have hurt the child at all. Anyway,
but it's but if they had tried to do that and the gorilla did, or God forbid, killed the child, then you would have had a zoo having to explain why they didn't kill a gorilla to save a child's life. It's like it's a horrible situation no matter how you cut it. And I feel bad for the zookeepers that had to kill the gorilla that they were probably as close to friends as one can be with an animal, that's heartbreaking.
And the mom who just let her child go down into the gorilla enclosure,
yeah, that's pretty gross.
We really need to do a charity for gorillas at some point here on DK Vine. I would really like to do that at some point.
Yeah, is there like a Diane Fossey society or something?
There is. Remember, Michelle, for my birthday, she adopted a gorilla for me named
Sakurai.
Yeah. Yeah, there is, but I don't know a way to set that up. We can do something for the Kongversation eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to bring you down about the dead gorilla news, but thank you, Angry Ancestor, for.
Yeah, I think he immediately undercut Karakong's wild fantasy with something extraordinarily wilder.
He didn't even bring up the gorilla shooting. That was all you, Chad.
Look, I sees an opening and I takes it.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the call. Thanks for biking out in the desert, Angry Ancestor, or wherever you live.
Yeah.
Thanks for
that's
leaving
in
the
Stephen
zone.
King's desperation.
Okay. Sure.
Cheer us up, next caller.
Hey guys, it's Mitchell. Just wanted to call in with my E3 predictions.
Yay!
First for Rare. Last year at E3 2015, almost called it 2005 there for a second. Where's the time gone? Rare confirmed Rare Replay in like their big announcement, then had a slightly smaller announcement for Sea of Thieves, and I'm thinking that this might be a pattern from here on out. They'll have a big thing, like a lot of time devoted to the thing that comes out later that year. So this year it would be Sea of Thieves is going to be the focus of their presentation, and then just a little tease for the thing that comes out the next year. So maybe there's going to be a new Rare game, and I'm thinking maybe to balance out the fact that Sea of Thieves isn't like a classic Rare IP, maybe they might go back and forth. So I'm predicting from Rare we might see a tease, just a short little trailer for either a new. I don't want to say which one it could be, but it could be like a Banjo, probably not a Conquer, maybe a Perfect Dark.
Anticipation.
Yes.
Okay, that's for Rare. For Playtonic, we're probably going to see Yooka-Laylee more. I mean,
Good guess.
They're probably a little bit upset that their trailer leaked because that was probably a cornerstone of what their presentation was going to be about. But I don't know. Maybe, yeah, me too. Okay, Nintendo. Probably nothing Donkey Kong or Star Fox related, but I'm very excited to see which bathroom they use this time. Last time they used let me get my bearings straight, the southwest bathroom of Exhibit Hall A, and I'm thinking maybe the northwest bathroom of Exhibit Hall A this time. But who knows? It could go either way. It could go any which way. I'm mostly just excited for the fact that there are no 3DS games from Nintendo that Nintendo is going to put in their booth this year, meaning that the booth babe approachal rate is probably going to go down, making me feel a little bit less awkward, like in a permanent state. Okay, thank you guys. See you later. Bye.
Thank you for the call, Mitchell. Yeah, good memory on the location of the Nintendo restroom.
Yes, and for those of you who are a little bit confused, Mitchell, we met him at E3 last year, and he hung out with us for a bit. So.
Yeah, we ate Mexican food together.
We did. We love the Hispanics.
Yeah. Oh God, is that a Trump thing? Okay,
that's a Trump thing. Yeah. So.
Somehow more irritating than my dead gorilla reference.
Well, he's a live orangutan. I don't know. Like, here we go again with maybe Rare's going to show off another returning property along with Sea of Thieves. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for Sea of Thieves, Mitchell. I want to see a lot more about Sea of Thieves. I want to know as much as we can know about Sea of Thieves at E3.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn my nose up at a little like like the sort of glimpse that you get at the end of a credit sequence in a Marvel movie, just like a little tease that maybe there's something coming. I wouldn't begrudge that at all, but I'm not by any stretch expecting it. I think that Sea of Thieves is their bread and butter this year.
Right, or their grog and
olive slice.
Olive wedge.
Olive wedge. They're grog and olive wedge.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Let's take another call. I don't want to think about that anymore.
All right.
Hello, Kongversation. It is Kevin Bulger, also known as Coconut on the forums.
And I'm here to answer this week's question that is in time for E3. What would be our dream game that we would like to see at E3? Well, I'm already pretty excited to see a thing lately. I just think of one game that would really just be my wildest dream and expectation. And that would be for Nintendo to show a trailer of a new Donkey Kong game, 2D or 3D, featuring the return of King K. Rool and the Kremlin. Now, it might seem like that's all but an impossibility. Well, maybe not. They're not showing any new games on the floor, but I still think optimistically that they could be showing new games via YouTube trailers. Just release the trailers online after the presentation and then call it a day. Yeah, I just really, really want to see King K. Rool back, and I want to see the Kremlins back as well. And obviously, you know me as part of the Kremlin campaign. I've been wanting to campaign for him in Smash 4. And, but to me, like, that would just be such an amazing E3. And you guys might even get a chance to speak with some of it all. If Nintendo's not hiding in their bunkers again, like they recently been doing. I've even made a start at how much I want King K. Rool. Let's get into the point.
Rule, right, you guys. There's the king of the crows. Storms off people that care. Bring back Zero.
And that's the call. Okay. Sorry for the audio quality, Kevin.
Yes. Well, yeah. He apparently had too much Folgers in his cup for that call because it was I don't know, all over the map.
Classic joke.
Yep. The call back.
Innuendo. So I apologize that either your end or our end didn't make the connection, so we couldn't really hear your song. But I can only assume it was much more tasteful than the one we heard from Scraps.
I think it was in his end. Innuendo.
Oh no.
So
I was
anyway,
talking about how tasteful it was.
Oh, okay. Well, and anyway, Kremlins, K. Rool back in a Donkey Kong game, 2D or 3D. Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
As would I.
But I think that's a good possibility whenever we get a new Donkey Kong game that, yes, the Kremlins will be back because Nintendo is fully aware of K. Rool mania at this point. Clearly, the costume in Smash Brothers, the DLC Mii costume, was their mea culpa to that. It was their, okay, yeah, we hear you. We're not going to do anything about it right now, but we hear you.
Yeah, the vote was certainly crocked.
Yes, and crocked and then ignored. Those crooked super delegates.
Yeah.
But I really don't think we're gonna see a Donkey Kong game this year. I know. I mean, it's pretty much a certainty that Retro is not working on it, and if not Retro, I don't know whom. So, I guess we'll just have to wait. But yeah, whatever.
It would be interesting for Nintendo to just release trailers, but if they're going to do that, I think the direct format would be the obvious choice. So without a direct to kind of contextualize everything and give it the proper level of hype that I think that the directs are able to churn up, it would be a very strange choice.
And even then, I don't think the directs have the same level of hype. This is something I've complained about in years past when they were doing the directs was they don't have the same level of hype as a big stage show. And granted, the stage show brings its own set of problems and eye-rolling jokes and shtick, but I think the directs just had a lack of momentum. So I think just releasing YouTube trailers would have an even starker lack of momentum. And you do need spectacle at E3. I think that's the thing that Nintendo doesn't get. You need some razzmatazz.
I don't know that you necessarily do. I think that Nintendo might have recognized that their attempts at spectacle and razzmatazz, it's a very un-Nintendo thing, and it always felt kind of alien. I think that the Direct is probably the best choice for Nintendo. They don't work well in the stage show setting. Everything seems very forced and awkward. Even more so than, your traditional stage show shows. But so I don't mind the Direct. It's just I feel like Nintendo is not only doing Directs, but now they're taking a step back from E3 as a concept.
I think they're taking a step back from being a company.
No, come on now.
I don't know, man.
That's your flagrant anti-Nintendo bias.
It is. Wearing it loud and proud. All right.
Next call.
I think we can all agree the big game that we're all hoping to see at E3 is, of course, Peggle 3. Thank you.
Peggle 3. Another hot Zynga property. Or is it PopCap? Or are those the same thing now?
I don't know the words that are coming out of your mouth right now.
All right, let's just take another call.
All right.
I like when the trolls keep it short and sweet. That's my favorite kind of troll.
Hey there, Chad and Hyle. It's Malik once again, here to give my 2 cents on what we might see at E3 2016. On the rare side of things, I'm hoping we see more on Sea of Thieves, more clarification on what it is, and some of the features that the game will boast, because right now it's barely been talked about, and I'm quite interested in seeing how things will unfold for that game. And of course, Yooka-Laylee has me excited, and we'll hopefully hear a few more tidbits about that, like maybe a couple of more gameplay ideas, maybe a couple of more screenshots and stuff that we might not have seen just yet. But for right now, I'm pretty satisfied with where it's at. And on the Nintendo side of things, well, Pokemon Sun and Moon has me pretty excited, but that's pretty much it. Zelda, whatever. So, but also, maybe I'm also hearing that there might be stuff about a Crash Bandicoot unveiling from Sony. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but at the same time, my fingers are crossed, because I need some platforming action in my life with Australian marsupials. So that's my stance on E3. Expand on what we know, a couple of surprises here and there, and I'm good. That's all I really wanted to say, and I hope you guys have fun burning in LA soon. See ya!
Yeah, they throw magma on you when you step out of a plane on LAX. It's like their version of the Hawaiian lei.
Yeah. Actually, it would be hot tar in LA, but
oh yeah, straight from La Brea.
Yeah, that's the closest you ever come to a threat from Malik. Wow, I didn't hear rumors about the Crash. Obviously, we don't follow the Sony side of things as intently as we do Nintendo and Microsoft and Playtonic. But I had no idea that a rumor was going around about a new Crash Bandicoot. That would be very interesting to see. Now, I played the original Crash Bandicoot. I can't say I'm a Crash aficionado, but I would really be interested to see what Crash Bandicoot would look like in 2016.
Yeah, because I think his character design was, I think, sort of driven by the low poly model. You know, he has a very conical nose, whereas, Rare would usually take the opposite approach. They would draw it out, design the character, render it, and then kind of figure out how to represent that in a low poly sense. So how do you update something that's fundamentally a low poly driven design for a modern age? Would it look drastically different, or would that destroy the nostalgia that they'd obviously be trying to hit?
Especially, I'm loath to use this because this accusation is leveled against Rare's designs all the times, but a very 90s looking character. I mean, Crash more so than, Donkey and Diddy and the rest. I mean, he looks like he's a character with attitude,
Yeah, he's very Sonic in that sense.
Yeah, so would they update his look at all? Like you said, make him look more realistic? I think it's all tied together, but, yeah, and just what would the world look like? Would they go the super realistic route, super cartoony? Like, how do you do Crash Bandicoot in 2016? And I've always said that if Donkey Kong 64 could have gotten its act together, it could have been a Crash Bandicoot style game. So, I do have a level of interest in the gameplay that series presents. So
yeah, well, I think they even tried to do that sort of thing with DK64, but
from what we hear, they did. Yeah, it was confirmed as much way back in the day in Scribes that they tried to do the 2.5D thing, and it just wouldn't come together. So they just said, "Screw it, let's just do Banjo-Kazooie again."
That seemed to work for that barn.
No. Why are we so mean to Donkey Kong 64? Just leave Donkey Kong 64 alone, Chad.
We've got 5 differently colored chips on our shoulders.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks for the call, Malik, and we'll have to keep an eye open for that rumor while we're out there, because we could just be having a full-on platformer revival at E3 2016.
Yeah, not bad. Next call.
Next.
Hey, Chad and Hyle. Just calling to talk about E3 for a minute and, what we're hoping to see. Or what I'm hoping to see, I should say. Of course, with Microsoft and Rare being there, we're all hoping to get a better look at Sea of Thieves. It looks great when we saw the little trailer last year, and it's, been a whole nother year of development. So, hopefully we'll get to see something really exciting there and what the kind of shape the game is going to take and what it's going to be like. So looking forward to that, of course. I don't really see much else exciting coming from Microsoft. I mean, I was once a fan of the Gears of War franchise, but that doesn't fucking matter. Plus, it really doesn't have anything to do with the DKU anyway, but I had Microsoft on my mind, sorry. Yooka-Laylee is going to be there, which is great. They just had that beautiful trailer that came out, which is fucking wonderful, and just that game looks amazing, and I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to see hopefully some gameplay of it, and whether it's you guys or anybody else playing it at the show, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I was also kind of thinking that how a lot of conferences they'll do like like Sony and Nintendo, for example. Sorry, they'll do like a little montage of indie games coming to their system, like, coming to PS4 in 2016, like these indie games, like a little montage. And being that Playtonic has been doing all these interviews and getting shout outs on like Sony's social media pages from them, I wonder if we won't see Yooka-Laylee pop up at all in Sony's conference, just as kind of like a, indie third party little teaser maybe. I don't know whether or not, I don't know in what, capacity Playtonic will even be doing stuff like that at the show, but I just kind of thought of that because they've been doing a lot of stuff with Sony's social media channels lately. And then Nintendo is pure shit this year. I don't even know what to think about it. They're going to have Zelda there, which is exciting because I'm a huge Zelda fan, but I don't think we'll get anything Donkey Kong related. I would love it if we did, but I mean, they're not going to have anything. We're not going to, and since they're not showing the NX at E3, they're waiting until later to do it. We're not going to see any of the NX launch titles, whatever those are going to be, I really don't have high hopes for Nintendo at all or anything. I don't even know if they're going to reveal anything new or if they're just going to show Zelda and call it a day. So I mean, maybe we'll get a pleasant Donkey Kong related surprise, but I doubt it. I'm not looking forward to any of that shit. So, but hey, I'm glad you guys are going again so we can get some awesome DK Vine coverage from you guys. It was a lot of fun last year. And you guys have fun. Take it easy.
All right, a very thorough call from the Tomb of the Unknown Caller.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think? What else, if anything, are you looking forward to from Microsoft?
Maybe there'll be 2 Sea of Thieves trailers.
You know what my answer is. Sweet Minecraft.
What do you think they're gonna have what new can you do with Minecraft at this point, Chad?
Oh, well, I mean, they're constantly releasing incremental updates, and 1.10 should be coming out pretty soon. But, last year they had that HoloLens demo that I couldn't really appreciate at the time because I hadn't been sucked into the world of Minecraft yet. It'd be really cool to see, another appropriation of advanced tech used with Minecraft. I don't know. Whatever they have to show. I'm probably going to have to circle over toward Mojang's or Mojang, what I think it's Mojang, their booth at some point.
Or go into the urinals and see Mo Wang.
Okay.
You see, I had to do it. I don't know. I guess then I'm obligated to check out the new Skylanders game somewhere.
They are not the same thing, Hyle.
No, they're not. But it's going to be DKU, Skylanders Imaginators. And we know at the very least Donkey Kong and Bowser are playable once again. No news yet if there's going to be any further Nintendo characters added to this game. So maybe they'll have some company. But I very much doubt it would be a Kong, considering Diddy is an NPC partner of Skylander Donkey. So,
oh my god, Hyle! We live stream the show for $5 and up Patreon patrons, and I Am Gibbon is telling me that 1.10, the new Minecraft version, is out today, which brings polar bears, new villages, fossils, the Endermen in the Nether. I don't know if he's referring to a snapshot or a full release, but holy shit, Hyle.
I thought you were going to say that they've announced that in Skylanders Imaginators, it was going to be Redneck Kong and Perry the Parallel Bird added this year.
Yeah. That's almost as exciting as new biome features and the nether wart block.
Skylanders.
Let's take another. Two more calls.
All right.
Hi guys, Kev here. Two questions for you today. First of all, I was wondering, what did you learn from last year's E3 that you'll use to improve your experience this year? Like, were there any lessons or hints or tips you may have got from the last one that you're going to sort of implement this year?
Good question.
To run a little smoother. The other thing, I was wondering, what non-DKU games are you guys looking forward to that are going to be at E3? Are there any? Like, I know I'm particularly looking forward to Zelda, despite the weird show Nintendo are putting on. I've got a feeling this could be a really, really good game. And also a couple of things coming from Sony. So, are you guys going to, like, make any time to check out non-DKU stuff? Alright, have a good time, lads, and I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right. Well, Hyle, I think we have a pubic hair related answer to the first question.
As all of our good answers usually are. Well, this year, instead of staying in a shitty Airbnb that's coated with human hair.
Yeah. And excrement. Shitty is not a pejorative. It's just a descriptor.
Don't forget the insects and the spiders. Oh, the spiders.
Oh, yes. Lots of spiders.
But we're getting...
We were staying in a medieval dungeon is what we're trying to describe.
This year, we are staying in a shitty motel in a very dangerous part of Los Angeles.
Yes. We also, though, are renting a car, and we're going to pay the exorbitant parking prices at the LA Convention Center every day, but that will prevent us from having to walk up, nearly an hour each way in the June LA sun.
Yes, there won't be any heat stroke related videos from us this year.
Yeah, but there'll be car crashes while we try and sing the DK rap
from our sweet Kia that we rented.
Ooh, did we get a Kia?
We got a Kia.
Ooh.
So it's going to be the Pimp Mobile. It's going to be rolling down the LA streets, coming to impregnate you. I'm looking forward to that. Also, I think just time management, in general. We know what to expect. We know where to go this year. And
straight to Rare's booth.
Right. I've got the E3 app on my phone. We'll see how that works. And
yeah, I'm sure you'll get plenty of invites to see what Activision's up to.
We also have a slightly higher level of access this year because we are going as press.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, last year we paid out the nose to get in, and we didn't have to this time because we actually filled out the paperwork.
And we qualify as journalists. Believe it or not, DK Vine is legitimate media.
Not only that, but we applied as podcasters, not as fan site operators.
Yeah. So thank you, Kongversation.
Yeah. As for non-DKU titles, what do you think?
Crash Bandicoot, I guess, if that exists, if that's a thing. Cuphead, if that is there, sure. I don't know. The thing is, we're there to represent DK Vine, so we've kind of got to keep our priorities in check. It's one of the reasons last year we didn't check out the Oculus Rift, because the thing about E3 is the lines are so massive at so many things that it could eat up a whole day if you want to check something out. And
speaking of massive, Mass Effect is something that I think has been rumored that there will be a fourth installment taking place in another galaxy. I loved that series. I think the criticism over the ending was pretty insane and overblown. So if there's a new Mass Effect, I'll definitely stand in a massive line for it. Probably on day 3, though, after everyone leaves.
Right, yeah. Well, day 3 being what is actually day 4, because the weird thing about E3 is it's 3 days, but the Monday is really the big day for reveals and stuff as far as Microsoft and Sony goes. So all of us consider that to be a day of E3, even though the actual show starts on Tuesday. So E3 Thursday is basically worthless. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, Kev. Really appreciate it. And a little sideways plug for Kev, since he displayed restraint. Check out him and all the other Rare and Friends on their Logcast podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for sideways plugging Kev.
Come on, it's our subset site. It's the best we could do.
I was making a sex joke there.
Oh, I couldn't tell if it was a sex joke or a Lost Season 6 reference.
Could have been both. Yeah, we'll just double back and we'll make Lost references with our sex jokes. It'll just be one big smorgasbord of Chad and Hyleisms.
Final call, mercifully.
Hey guys, ACZ here, and holy crap, it's less than a week until E3 and even less for the Microsoft press conference. Are you guys excited? You should be. Now, we know that Sea of Thieves is probably very much going to be shown. I have a very strong feeling that Sea of Thieves is gonna be like a very big push this year at Microsoft's press conference. And I think even there was a recent rumor that said that Microsoft is in fact going all in this year on Sea of Thieves. That is one of their big pushes, you know. That's going to be like one of their big holiday pushes. But not only that, but I found it interesting that apparently the surfacing up to the water again is a Battletoads rumor that Rare is indeed working on Battletoads. And they will be ready to show it off. And I know that a couple of people have actually been interested in this theory, especially since the release of Rare Replay when Kevin Bayless was being interviewed and he was talking about Battletoads, and near the end of that video he turns to the camera and says something along the lines of, you know, maybe it's time we made a new one. So... Like, I'm thinking that they may have, like, contracted Bayless, like, temporarily to, like, redesign the Battletoads for this new game. I mean, obviously it's not going to be the biggest budget. I'm actually pretty excited if it's, like, you know, some sort of, like, Xbox Live $15 download, but it's still very high quality. I think that'd be, like, really cool. But what kind of surprises do you guys want to see out of the Microsoft press conference? Do you guys want to see like another Yooka-Laylee trailer with perhaps a little crossover with Banjo that we've all been speculating? Or would you rather see the DKU cameo in some other game like they've been doing with like IDARB and Killer Instinct? That's about it. Me, Ape, and Mamechi will actually see you guys next week. See ya.
Oh, wow. I guess that's going to be the E3 Live contingent. ACZ, Mamechi, and Agent Ape. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you there. And,
yeah. Our condolences for the lack of Rhythm Heaven. Or rather, our condolences for having to console Mamechi over the lack of Rhythm Heaven.
Console him? He needs to be restrained, it sounds like.
Thanks for the call.
You know, ACZ, your theory on if there were to be a Battletoads game under the auspices of Rare, I think that's the most plausible scenario I could think of. If it were just a kind of a lower budget release, and if it was more in the throwback realm rather than a full throated AAA release. You know what I mean? That could be one way Rare could have pulled it off without any of us having any idea. But I don't know.
And you know they just recently released the behind the scenes video on Rare's YouTube channel for Jetpack Refueled, and that was an Xbox Live Arcade title, extremely polished, extremely fun. And it's one that I keep going back to on Rare Replay. Sometimes those extremely simple games, if they have a good hook, you keep returning to them.
No,
so
for me, hashtag IDRB. That's one of them. It's just like it's simple, it's clean, it's fun, it's fine. It's good. It's good to have those games. Why am I getting angry about this?
Yeah, you sounded like apologetic almost about it. It's fine. It's fine. Why are you asking?
It's like I get into an argument with my own head sometimes. It's very disconcerting. I don't know what's happening to me.
Yeah, I think there's actually a condition for that.
that develops as one hits their 30s. Yes. when I hit 35, as was threatened with our caller last week, Mamie, I will just go on full on schizophrenic.
Yeah, let's just be honest. By that point, you will be every one of our callers.
But yeah, so thanks for the call, ACZ, and I'll see you out at E3. So Chad, we're into it now, buddy. E3 2016. Tomorrow being Microsoft Monday.
Of course, that is definitely tomorrow.
Join us for at some point a new conversation where we detail any and all of the reveals in the Microsoft conference. And it should be a lot more entertaining than the Nintendo Tuesday episode. Or so I say, right?
Are we doing one?
Yeah, we've got to do one. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's. It's a challenge, Chad.
Okay.
Rise to the challenge.
Yeah, as long as there's no running time specifications.
It's going to be the most immersive conversation experience ever.
Yeah. So join us Tuesday to hear everything that we have to say about Independence Day 2.
When are we going to talk about Yooka-Laylee, though? Maybe we'll just find time on Tuesday to talk about Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah.
We'll say fuck Nintendo. Which apparently lots of our callers to this episode said fuck Nintendo. That is not anti-Nintendo bias. I am just reporting the facts.
Yeah. You're like a rapper. You're just saying what's happening on the streets.
Keeping it real, buddy. Keeping it real.
This has been a File 2 production.
Yeah!